Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about a hot topic in the world of finance, dumping the US dollar and replacing it with a new currency for trade. As we know, the US dollar has been the world's dominant currency for decades, but now some experts are suggesting that it's time for a change. In this video, we will explore the idea of a new BRICS currency replacing the US dollar and what it would mean for the world's economies. The BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have discussed the possibility of creating a new reserve currency to reduce their reliance on the US dollar, which has traditionally been the dominant global currency for trade and investment. However, creating a new currency to replace the US dollar would be a complex undertaking with many economic and political challenges. It would require significant coordination and agreement among the BRICS countries, and would likely face resistance from countries that benefit from the current global financial system. Furthermore, the US dollar remains the most widely used currency for international transactions and is backed by the world's largest economy, so any new currency would have to offer significant advantages to attract widespread adoption. The US dollar has been the official currency for international trade for years now. However, in recent times there has been talk of creating a new currency in an attempt to dump the dollar and push back against American hegemony. This de-dollarization has received a boost in recent times, especially after the Russia-Ukraine war began last February. And last week, this movement received further impetus when Alexander Babakov, the deputy chairman of the State Duma, was quoted as saying that the BRICS nations are in the process of creating a new medium for payments, established on a strategy that does not defend the dollar or euro. However, not everybody likes playing by US rules, and countries like Russia and China would like to call a halt to dollar hegemony. This process is called de-dollarisation, and it refers to reducing the dollar's dominance in global markets. It is a process of substituting the US dollar as the currency used for trading oil and/or other commodities. The proponents of de-dollarization say that this process would reduce other countries' dependence on the US dollar and the US economy, which could help mitigate the impact of economic and political changes in the US on their own economies. Moreover, countries can reduce their exposure to currency fluctuations and interest rate changes, which can help to improve economic stability and reduce the risk of financial crises. This move has been gaining speed in the last few years, especially in the previous year. In 2022, the International Monetary Fund noted that central banks today are not holding the greenback as reserves in the same quantities as yesteryear. The dollar's share of global foreign exchange reserves fell below 59% in the final quarter of last year, extending a two-decade decline, according to the IMF's Currency Composition of Official Foreign Exchange Reserves data, the paper stated. Strikingly, the decline in the dollar's share has not been accompanied by an increase in the shares of the pound sterling, yen and euro, other long-standing reserve currencies. Rather, the shift out of dollars has been in two directions: a quarter into the Chinese renminbi, and 3/4 into the currencies of smaller countries that have played a more limited role as reserve currencies. To punish Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, Western governments froze $300 billion of Russia's foreign currency reserves last year, roughly half the total, and expelled Russian banks from the SWIFT international payment system. As Jason Hollins, managing director of investment platform BestInvest, explains, the so-called dollar weaponization has rattled many countries and not just Russia. Countries willing to continue to trade with Russia, like India and China, have started doing so in rupees and yuan instead, triggering talk of the de-dollarization of the international trading order. He added that Brazil and China are now trading with each other in yuan, helping to establish the Chinese renminbi as an international currency and dollar challenger. India too has been trying to move away from the dollar. Recently, 18 countries, including UK, Germany, Russia and even the United Arab Emirates, have been given permission to trade in Indian rupees. In February, noted economist Nouriel Roubini had said that the Indian rupee over time could become one of the global reserve currencies in the world. The BRICS currency. Taking this forward, the BRICS collective, made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, are also mulling creating a new currency to facilitate trade. It is reported that the new financial agreement could be seen as soon as in August when the countries meet for their annual summit in South Africa. Interestingly, Brazil already has begun to accept trade settlements and investments in Yuan. India and Russia have the rupee-ruble mechanism for trade in which they settle dues in rupees instead of dollars or euros. This shows that the BRICS nations are intending to change the dollar-dominated system, which would eventually lead to de-dollarisation across the globe. Implications of a BRICS currency. If the BRICS nations do go ahead with their plan and come up with a new currency, it could help stabilize their economies. For an investor in BRICS countries, it would mean increased consumer confidence. This would lead to an uptick in spending and economic growth. But will India accept this new currency? Will it want to be economically aligned with China, with whom it is having a standoff at the border? Moreover, some experts say that this new deal might benefit Beijing more than New Delhi. What happens next is unknown. But the fact that the dollar is losing power is certain. We shall keep an eye on this topic and get you more on this in the future.